The savage situation.
Every single year, E3 is the gaming equivalent of the Super Bowl. You're getting the best of the best. You're seeing all the things that are coming out over the next 12 months, things you're excited about, things you're hyped for, things you can't wait to get your fingers on or wrapped around. I don't know, one of those two. It seems that E3 2019 was a bit of a smash hit. There was a lot of games that people were really kind of eager to see the next evolutionary step of, games that they cannot believe have been announced or shared, old franchises, old series that have come back with a bang, with a brand new iteration of some form. And I figured, you know what? There's only one thing for it. We've got to put together a tier list of E3 2019's games that have been revealed or announced, okay? Now, I put this together today. By all means, check it out, okay? I'm going to put the link in the description below so you guys can check this out as well and give it a go and let me know your thoughts on the tier list. But obviously, you know the way the tier list works. S being the best, D being the worst, and the ABC in the middle. We're going to go through the big games. Now, I know that there are a lot of games that I haven't included in this, okay? I've just taken the AAA titles, the brand new IPs, the brand new stuff, as opposed to Just Dance 2020 or a DLC coming out for Kingdom Hearts. I haven't shared those things because they're not brand new games that we're excited about, okay? They haven't got something brand new which is going to completely change the face of gaming in some respects. So that's why I've created this list of the stuff which is going to be the freshest of its new series or as a standalone title. So welcome to all the different games I've chosen here. There's 29 games I've got here. 29 games. Let's go through them. Let's put them into a kind of an order of some sorts to kind of like, you know, share what we like and don't like. Of course, this is just my opinion. There's many people that are going to disagree with me. Some may agree with me, but this is how I feel about them. We're going to go through them one at a time. Blair Witch. Now, Blair Witch is a game that I'm excited about because it's one of the few horror games that was kind of announced. Blair Witch is one of the most familiar horror movies of all time. I think it's probably the highest grossing horror film of all time because it cost like 7p to make in the real world. However, Blair Witch, the video game, it looks like a bit of a dark, twisted psychological thriller. Very kind of Alan Wake-esque, I want to say. You're a man, you got your dog, you go into a forest, I think to search for, from what I gather from the trailer, you go to search for like a lost thing, it's like a lost little girl or something. You go into a forest, you get wrapped up, immersed inside this Blair Witch conspiracy thing. I am hyped about this. It was a game I wasn't expecting to see. I obviously we're familiar with this game already in the sense that we know the kind of the subject matter to an extent, but I'm looking forward to seeing how deep it goes down the rabbit hole. I am excited for this. I'm going to put this in a B tier. Next up is Bleeding Edge. Now, this looks quite intriguing. A 4v4 melee, lane-based arena battle, it looks like, which I'm excited to see. The animated style looks really good. It looks exciting. Not much was released in ways of any kind of gaming, gameplay. It was more kind of trailer-based, really. But it looks exciting. I guess in an age of in an age of battle royales and team-based combat, it's quite cool to see a melee-based one, which is going to be less guns, more kind of like hand-to-hand combat. So I'm quite excited about this. I'm actually going to put this in the B category as well. I'm going easy. I'm starting off easy. It's in the B category as well. Next up is Borderlands 3. 2K Games announced a little bit of this. I think there was before the actual event took place before E3. There was actually a hands-on for a lot of game journalists and content creators who got a chance to play Borderlands 3. It's got a hugely popular fan base, people that have been playing the other iterations, 1 and 2 and all the bits in between. There's the recent kind of expansion packs and stuff as well. So this is going to be a big game. The cel-shaded, the concept art of the game, the animation style itself is brilliant anyway. I'm really looking forward to Borderlands 3. Borderlands 3 actually is going to go into my A. It's going to be our first A of the day. Borderlands 3 for me is definitely an A all day. Control for me is a game that I'm not that excited about. Like anything with some kind of phenomena or mind powers or some sort is cool, and in trailers it always delivers. It looks like a really fun mechanic to use. I don't think I can actually spend the entire game playing with that as the main narrative plot point. So I'm not particularly hyped about it. It's going to go in C for me. It's not going to be something that I rush to play, but I'll give it a go when it comes out. But for me, it goes into C. Next up, this is the big one. Cyberpunk 2077. You're breathtaking. Keanu Reeves, baby. Keanu Reeves came out and said that he was going to be at the E3 Xbox press conference, he came out and announced that he would be involved in this game as a character. The game already looks phenomenal, set in a futuristic, obviously 2077, where augmented or kind of there are body enhancements of all different sorts, and there's a lot of underground, futuristic neon kind of like world to explore. I mean, the game visually looks incredible, and it's got so much hype around it as well. So I'm really hoping it's going to deliver. It's not going to be too overly hyped, but Keanu Reeves alone, for me, got to put it in the S category, baby. It's got to go straight to S. It's in the top tier. It's got to be in the top tier. 100% Cyberpunk. It's got to be. Next up, Death Stranding. Hideo Kojima's big new release that we've heard a lot about. E3 last year, actually. I was there last year, and there was a lot of hype around it then. It was a year ago, and still, it's not out yet, but we're hearing more about it now as well. From the trailers, it looks like a really interesting kind of twisted, dystopian, weird game. With these kind of entities that kind of you can't see coming, that kind of like grab you and do all kinds of things to you, and they were all carrying babies in backpacks, like fetuses in backpacks. It looks mental, for use of a better phrase. It looks mental, but it looks visually, it looks amazing. So I'm very excited about this game, but has it been hyped up too much? That's the big question here. I'm really hoping that it's not the case. I'm really hoping that it's going to be an absolute gem. And I put Death Stranding, once again, I'm putting Death Stranding in my S category. I'm putting it in my S category. Now there's Deathloop, okay? Deathloop is a game that Bethesda came out and said, here's this brand new IP you've got, take it all. You've got tons of stuff to get excited about here. And Deathloop for me really stuck out. It looks like a PvP VE game. So you got player versus the environment, and there's this kind of like source code kind of going back in time and starting from the beginning element to it as well. So whether it's going to be a case of if you die, you have to start from the very beginning and try and do the whole game again without dying, I doubt that's going to be the case at all. Or it's going to be a game where you see different scenarios play out and you've got to change the way that you go through a level or through a kind of like a chapter, and you're going to change it chapter to chapter. There could be like an Until Dawn element to this as well, like a kind of like you pick and choose what happens to different NPC characters, what happens to the environment around you. Guy versus a girl versus like time, basically. So anything involving time for me and time control of some sort is a high point. So I'm excited about this. Deathloop's going into my A category. I'm excited for Deathloop a lot. Doom Eternal, next up. Bethesda is bringing out the big guns, literally, in Doom Eternal. I've been hyped for this game for a long time. Since 2016's Doom came out, which I loved. It was fast, frenetic, gory, bloodthirsty. I loved it. It was great. I thought it was such a good game. I completed the nuts out of that. Doom Eternal looks bigger, better, faster, stronger, gorier, crazier, wilder. I can't wait to get involved. For me, it's a game that I was guaranteed, before I even saw anything about it, I was 100% in. It goes for Wolfenstein games as well. Bethesda, for me, makes some of the best first-person shooter experiences there are. So for me, 100% Doom Eternal. It looks like the story's continuing. You go into different depths of hell and heaven and like light and dark and all kinds of different stuff. So I think you even go back in time to certain parts of like the space-time continuum as well. So I'm hyped, man. I cannot tell you how hyped I am. This 100% is going to go into my A category as well. Rainbow Six Quarantine is next. This is a game Ubisoft have come out and said they've got this brand new 3v3 mode. Rainbow Six Quarantine. Trailer was cool. First person. You've got some kind of like wristwatch on, and you've got like your veins are popping, like you've got some kind of weird disease going through your veins. Looks like it's going to be a PvE experience to go alongside Siege. It's PvP stuff, but it looks really cool. I like the fact that there's, the whole undead zombie thing's been huge for a long time now, and people being, kind of infected with some kind of disease of some sort. I'm sure they're going to find a way to crowbar in a pretty cool kind of narrative of why this 3v3 thing's happening. So it looks good. I mean, you can always guarantee Ubisoft, Rainbow Six Siege has been an absolute smash. It's still got a really big competitive scene as well. I'm sure this is going to be a really fun, like, PvE iteration of that same kind of universe. So I'm excited about it. I'm not like, I'm not a massive Rainbow Six player. but it looks kind of cool. I'm going to put it in C for me. I'm going to put it in C because it's one, compared to with all the different games coming out, for me, it's not the one that's at the top of my list. So it looks okay. Dying Light 2, that was announced as well. Once again, trailer looked very cool. Once again, the undead zombies running through cities and hordes and survival, running around rooftops and parkouring it around environments. Looks very cool. I didn't really play much of the first one, I'm going to be honest. Am I going to get involved? Maybe this time around. I get a lot of people saying to me how much they enjoyed Dying Light, so maybe Dying Light 2 will be my entry point into the series. But for now, it's not a game that I'm hugely looking forward to. I'm putting it in C. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I wasn't going to touch on any games that have been out for a long time or if it's the new one in the series. However, FIFA 2020, or just FIFA 20, has a new mode, a whole new mode that there was the cornerstone of its whole announcement at E3. It's called Volta. It's like the five-a-side indoor skill-based mode, which looks very cool. I mean, for me, I love like FIFA 98, the old school versions of FIFA where you had indoor football. This looks really good as well. Whether or not it's going to be, it's going to lure me back in. I've recently done a video on FIFA and where I'm at with the game, which is all over the place right now. But I like the fact that it's taken the shine off of the Ultimate Team side of things, which is still going to appeal to a lot of people. A lot of people are still going to be really into the FIFA Ultimate Team side of things. I, for one, may come back because I love indoor mode. But my skill play is crap. My skill play is really bad. It just misses out on going into the D category. I'm looking forward to seeing what it's got in its locker, but for me, it's not the biggest, bestest, most impressive game in the world. This is one of the games I'm looking forward to the most, guys. Final Fantasy VII Remake. I've been waiting for this for a long time. I loved the original Final Fantasy VII game, 4 discs long, PlayStation 1, blew my mind. It was, so good. Cloud Strife, the whole gang. The story was great. The animation back then was really good as well. But the remake looks like the nuts. Like, it looks so good. I can't believe they remade the entire game. And I definitely want to jump into this. It's guaranteed. It's one of my top 5 games I'm most hyped about. Have been for a long time now. There is no doubt in my mind that this is going to be amazing. It's going into my S category. I'm that excited about the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now, this is going to cause a lot of problems for people. Because Final Fantasy VIII Remastered has just been announced as well. And Final Fantasy VIII is one of the biggest, most highest regarded Final Fantasy games there is as well. I, for one, I don't know what happened when I was young. I don't know what happened, but Final Fantasy VII, loved it, amazing, absolutely brilliant. Final Fantasy VIII, got it, meh, wasn't feeling it. Whether or not it's because the characters were different, whether or not it's because just the game didn't feel exactly the same, I don't know, but I just wasn't really into it. I didn't really feel like it was the game that I really wanted to invest time in. It felt a little bit too lifelike in a really weird way, because obviously, Final Fantasy VII was really animated, very, very much a more cartoony side of gameplay, whereas 8 was a little bit more grown up, a little bit more, a little bit older looking, I guess, maturer looking. So I wasn't a massive fan. When this was announced, for me, I wasn't that hyped about it because I'm just not really one to, it's the game that I didn't really play. So, yes, I could play it and I probably will, but am I going to be that into it? Is it making me want to buy it? Not really. So I'm sorry, guys. It's going to go into D for me. It's a game that I just don't know anything really about. I don't really want to play it. And this is going to cause friction. It's going to cause problems for us. I'm sorry, okay? But it's going in my D. Next up, Gears of War 5. Gears 5, baby. Now, for one, I'm a Gears fan. Like, one of the first games I ever got on my Xbox 360 was Gears of War. Gears of War and Mass Effect, the 2 first games I got on my Xbox 360, okay? Now, Gears 5, I kind of dipped off the series. I became more of a PlayStation player, less of an Xbox player, okay? So I kind of missed out because Xbox, Gears is an exclusive Xbox title. I kind of dipped out and like Gears of War 3, and I've missed whatever's happening between like Judgment and 4 and stuff. I do want to play this. And one of the main reasons I want to play this as well is because of the showcase of the game at E3. They said that if you buy it, if you get it early doors, if you pre-order this game, you get an exclusive Terminator skin. I mean, it looks amazing. Like, I'm talking bare bones skeleton Terminator. It looks amazing. For that alone, got me very excited. Forget Keanu Reeves for a second. You got the T1000, man. I think it's the T1. I think it's a T100. I think it's a T100. I don't know. One of the Ts. It's a Terminator. That's all you need to know. Looks good. But as I said, I haven't played the series for a long time, but because of the Terminator skin, it is going to go into I'm going to put it in B for now. I'm going to put it in Gears 5 is going to go in B. Next up, Ghost Recon, Breakpoint. We had a great presentation on stage about this game, and once again, it looks very cool. It looks like for the first time in Ghost Recon Breakpoint, the story goes is that the operational team that you play as, you're going up against a team who've been trained in the same skill set as you. So it's going to be a lot more competitive, a lot more combative. It's going to be a lot more. The AI is going to be a lot more on point. It's going to be a lot trickier to take on the enemies, or so they say. And once again, visually it looks very cool, looks dark, looks very ominous. I like the look of this game a lot. I'm pretty hyped about it. So for me, personally, not a huge Ghost Recon guy, but it looked great. It did look very, very good, and I was very excited about that. So that's actually going to go into my B. My B is going to go into. We've only got one game in D, and it's Final Fantasy VIII. What am I doing? Okay, next up, Ghostwire Tokyo. This trailer dropped, and so did everyone in the trailer. It just seems that something happened in Tokyo. Everyone just disappeared, and just the remnants of their clothes were left on the sidewalk or on the pavement, whatever. Like, it looked mysterious. It looked really mysterious. Graphically, it looked friggin' crazy good. So I'm sure it's going to be a game that gets a lot of people excited. A lot of people have online been talking about how excited they are for this game, and I, for one, am pretty excited about this as well. Just for intrigue alone, it's going to go in my B. I'm putting that into B. Gods and Monsters. Hello. The team that created Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is very popular in the Assassin's Creed series, come Gods and Monsters. Available on all different platforms. A lot more animated in style, of course. A lot more kind of like based on. I think it's based on Greek mythology, but a lot of it's like in-depth Greek mythology. Assassin's Creed Odyssey was obviously about ancient Greece, but this is like ancient Greece, like the gods and monsters, demigods, the Medusa, all that kind of stuff. Like, it's all happening in this game. It looks really cool, and for me as a Switch player as well, it's a great game for my Switch that I'm excited about. It's one of my games I'm actually really excited about. It looks really, really good visually. I'm putting that in my A category. It's going in my A's. Next up, Halo Infinite. Now, as someone who has worked on Halo esports events, I know the multiplayer very well. I know the multiplayer really well. I'm not so familiar with the campaign story of Halo. I'm not so familiar with that universe. We saw this announced. It was one of the games that has had the most hype in the whole of E3. People are so desperate, particularly in the communities that I know as well with Halo. People are so hyped to play this game because it's the next chapter of the Halo story. We saw a great trailer with Master Chief, found floating in the cosmos. He's brought on board, rebooted, and he's like, it's time to bang the action, baby. We need to go again. We go again. And he's straight back out. That Spartan is back in the game. It looks great. It looks really, really good. I'm looking forward to getting into the gameplay and seeing it. Obviously, another Xbox exclusive. I want to see exactly what happens in that space. So it's going into my B. Next up, Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. Now, as a LEGO fan, I am crazy over the moon that this is a thing. I'm a huge completionist as well, so I play a lot of games through to the very end. And with LEGO games, they are games I have to go back again and again and again to play. I'm 100% of the Pirates of the Caribbean game, all the Indiana Jones ones. Like, I love LEGO games, and the fact that they've rebooted all 9 episodes, brand new Skywalker Saga, from Phantom Menace all the way up to the new Skywalker movie as well, coming out in December. They're all there in some capacity, so the game's going to be big. There's some seriously iconic levels they got to crowbar into this puppy, so it's going to be great. I can't wait for it. I love LEGO games. For me, without a shadow of a doubt, this is going into my A's 100%. I can't wait for it. That's how much I love LEGO games. Luigi's Mansion 3, a game that I'm not particularly that excited about. They're great. Luigi's Mansion games are very popular. They were, once again, as a Switch user, I know for a fact this will be a great game to take on the road with me. I know it will be 100%. There's no doubt about that in my mind. But it's one of those things as well where I know the game's popularity, never really got around to investing my time in it, but I want to invest more time. I'm putting Luigi's Mansion 3 into my C because I know that I'm going to play it, but it's not one of the big games with all these ones that are listed that I'm really, really, really excited about playing. One of the big games that was announced by Square Enix was Marvel Avengers. Now, it's been Avengers central for the last 10 years, particularly it culminated recently with Avengers Endgame coming out in the movies. The trailer showed us again that, I mean, graphically it's gone to another level. Like the immersiveness of this giant Golden Gate Bridge being blown to smithereens, the Hulk storming through, bit of humor in there as well, which I liked, which the Marvel series, particularly Avengers, is synonymous for as well. You got that, you got like all these different characters. However, when a game looks as good as this, 9 times out of 10, and I'm going purely by experience here, when a game looks that good visually, in terms of campaign and story, it doesn't really have the duration to keep up that level for a long period of time. I could be completely wrong, but if the campaign is over 10 to 12 hours, I'll be surprised. That's the way I look at it personally. But it's a game that obviously everyone is very excited about. Now, if you've not seen Endgame, I'm not going to spoil it, but obviously due to the character roster in this game, it obviously takes place as a prequel because characters that are in this game might not necessarily be in the actual Marvel universe as it stands now in reality. So this has been created prior to Endgame and prior to Infinity War maybe as well. So things are a bit different, but the game does look really good. Not one that I'm crazy excited about, but I do love Avengers. And that is fact. So I'm going to put Avengers into C. I'm sorry. Again, I apologize, but it had to happen. That's where I'm at with that. Minecraft Dungeons next, the Xbox game, platformer. Gonna be honest, guys, not a Minecraft guy. Not a huge Minecraft player. Like, I appreciate it. The creative aspect of it is just... I need some kind of narrative. I need some kind of thing to push me on, to spur me on to play it. Creative-wise, like, as much as I've enjoyed playing the game, it's not one that I want to go back to time and time again. Minecraft Dungeons, mind you, has this platform kind of element to it, like a Zelda-esque kind of look to it as well. It looks good, but once again, didn't know it was coming, and being a Minecraft game, not necessarily overjoyed that it's coming out. So I'm sorry, that's going to go in D for me. Minecraft Dungeon's going to go in D. I will play it, but for me, not massively into it. Outriders. Now this is a game as well, created by the team who put together Bulletstorm. So you know it's going to be fast, frenetic, frantic action as well. A co-op shooter. I'm looking forward to seeing what it's got in its locker. I say this could be okay. I think it could be good. But not in the top tiers. It's going to go in B for me. I'm looking forward to it, but it's going to go in B. Next up, Pokemon Sword and Shield. Obviously, I'm a big Pokemon Go. I still play Pokemon Go. Shut up, okay? It's a thing. I still play Pokemon Go. I'm probably going to play Sword and Shield. I did not play a lot of the Pokemon games growing up again. The history for me is just not there for me to warrant definitely playing this game, but I like the idea of playing this game, or these games. I think just like the original Red and Blue, you've now got Sword and Shield versions of the game with different Pokemons in each, so it's not a game that I'm desperate to play. I'm going to play it, but sadly it's going to go in my D, next to Minecraft Dungeons. I'm sorry everyone, I'm sorry. Roller Champions as well, another game which... It had a cool looking trailer. It's a sports game on skates with like basketball, but like rollerball looking. But again, like I'm not really that excited about it. I'm not that pumped to play the game. It looks cool. I mean, we saw some gameplay, and it looks very, like a very kind of unique kind of like Quidditch with balls and skates. That's pretty much the most I can get from it, really. It's a sports game. I like sports games a lot, but will I invest my time into this? I don't think so. It's going to go in my D, guys. It's going to go in my D. 4 games remain. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Yes. I'm 100% getting on this game. 100%. There's no doubt about it in my mind. Before coming into this, I knew it was coming out. It's coming out later this year. Probably to coincide with episode 9. It's a game that I'm definitely going to play. We saw 13 minutes of gameplay during E3 as well, which looked really banging. I worry that it's going to get a little bit linear. It looked a bit linear, and that scares me. That scares me a lot. I think it's going to be quite linear. I want it to be different. I want it to have more. I want it to be a bit more kind of a bit gory as well. Like, you kind of take people out, and yeah, they got a bit of like a burn mark from the lightsaber in their sides, but you want to see like limbs flying off. You want to see like big stuff, big like kind of like finish him moments. I'm speaking like I'm a very aggressive person inside. It's not true. I'm a kitten at heart. EA, no doubt, I've put out all the stops after the pretty poor response that Battlefront 2 had. I've no doubt in my mind that they've absolutely nailed it this time around as well. So I'm looking forward to this. For me, Fallen Order, S, baby. Goes into S. Next up is The Outer Worlds. It looks great. It's set in space, RPG. I loved Mass Effect. This looks like a slightly more humorous, comical, comic-looking game, which did look amazing. It was one of the first trailers that was shown. Obviously, there's a bit of a mishap earlier this year with the Epic Games Store kind of announcing it was coming out later on this year. But still, it does come out the same day as Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which we all know is a huge draw every year to play the new COD game. It doesn't matter. I think this game stands on its own two legs, its own 2 feet. You know, it's based in, you know, in the galaxy. It's going to have aliens and kind of all kinds of crazy stuff going on. So it looks like a cool PvE RPG kind of style game. I'm looking forward to it a lot, actually. Outer Worlds is going to go into my A. I can't wait to see what happens with that. Watch Dogs Legion, penultimate game on this tier list, and boy, does it looking good. It's looking really good, guys. We saw a lot of gameplay from E3 as well. London is the home of Watch Dogs Legion, and it just looked, I mean, I've got to say, geographically, living in London as I do as well, you see the city, the sites of like Piccadilly Circus and whatnot, it looks accurate to another level. Like, the detail is unbelievable. Like, it looks so good. I love the fact as well that you can play as multiple characters. When one character dies, another one you kind of like that you've recruited as part of the resistance, you take the control of that one. You recruit as you go. This kind of really cool storyline that kind of like weaves its way around the whole of London, which, as I said, I'm very familiar with. I genuinely cannot wait to play this game. It's one of the biggest, most exciting games I think that came out of E3. For me, at 100%, it's going to go into S. Like, it's going to go into S. Like, I'm looking forward to, on the fact that it looks so good alone. I'm damn crazy for this one. I can't wait for it. Last but no means least as well, Wolfenstein Youngblood. Two sisters in the world of Blazkowicz, BJ Blazkowicz. As I said earlier on with Doom Eternal, Bethesda know how to bring a good bottle to the party. They know exactly how to deliver. I've no doubt this is going to be great. It's a co-op game. From what we saw so far, it looks really special. I think, you know, having played the last one that I think was the New Order, and the most recent, I can't remember the most recent Wolfenstein game, the most recent Wolfenstein game as well, Wolfenstein 2. Let's go with that. I think it's going to be amazing. Like, I'm looking forward to it a lot. As I said, fast-paced, frenetic kind of action is what I'm all about, and they deliver it at the pace. They deliver it in bucket loads in these games. And although I can see it being, I think I've heard rumors it's not as big as the other games in terms of the size and the scale of it. They will have another Wolfenstein Cyberpilot VR game coming out as well. Youngblood looks like it's going to be great, and I'm looking forward to that a lot, and that's going to go for me into my A. I'm excited for that. It's going to be sweet. And there we go. That is my E3 2019 ultimate tier list here. Look at that. Get some of that. It's looking pretty good. It was quite evenly spread. I mean, I'm pleased. I'm happy with that, I guess. But I'm sure that a lot of you guys are going to have a lot of different feelings about this in a way. You know, what you think should be where and how you think it should have actually been placed in the tier list. Let me know in the comments below if I've nailed it, or you think that there should be some changes. And make sure as well, you can actually, I'll put the URL down here as well, guys. You can create your own E3 ultimate tier list that I've created. This one right here, you can do this right now. Make sure to follow my Twitter and make sure to get that link down there as well in your URL and share it with me. Here's me, Mr. Adam Savage. Drop me a follow, drop me pictures of your tier list, and let me know exactly what you're most excited about playing out of these E3 2019 announcement games. Loved making this. This has been great. I hope you've enjoyed it as well. A long one, but definitely had to happen. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. Man, this is a good year to play games. Playing games this year is awesome.